Welcome to Happy Homes and Gardens. I'm your host. My name is Daphne Royse. I am a real estate broker, architecture, and interior designer. The C-Offsite Modular Solutions is the first European ADUs manufacturer to successful launch in the US market. Jana is the founder and owner of the C-Offsite Modular Solutions, and he brought the highest quality of the ADUs all the way from Estonia. Harmet is one of the biggest builders and suppliers of ADUs and primary market in Scandinavia, using the highest quality wood from sustainable forests. I'm very excited to introduce Harmet and the C-Offsite Modular Solutions to you. Our special guests are Harmet and the C-Offsite Modular Solutions. Good morning, Rista.
Good morning.
We would like to understand a little bit about Harmet. Would you mind to explain about the company and also yourself?
Yes, absolutely. I'm the head of sales in Harmet. I'm responsible for all the sales and also for development. This is how also I ended up being developing the US product, what we're just now gonna talk about. But regarding Harmet, I would just show a quick presentation to introduce you the possibilities of Harmet. Harmet is located in Estonia. This is the small country here, but actually it's small, but it's Estonia exports more than Germany and Poland combined. So basically, Estonia is the biggest exporter of wooden modules in Europe. We're very experienced in that area. Our main markets are the Scandinavia, Finland, Sweden, Norway. Now, last year, we also expanded to UK, and we're now active also in the Netherlands, in Denmark, and also in Germany. The development of the US product that we have done over the last 3 years, it's in the final stages and it's done now. So we will come back to that. Regarding Harmet's growth, we have a really steady growth. We have really big partners that has helped us to grow that fast, and now we are more than $100 million a year. So we have 6 factories. We have more than 500,000 square feet of production area. We have 800 employees, and we are first in the region. Here, what you can see on the picture is 1 month's production in our factory. That means it's approximately 180 apartments, 8 buildings, and 350 units. So this is what we can do in 1 month. Harmet is owned. It's privately owned, so there's 4 owners, and it's really good because we can make decisions really fast and really go beyond. We have also financial security because Harmet's big. We have also big banks behind us, and we always give bank guarantees to all our customers and all our products. So this is also something that gives extra value for us, because there has been occasions where smaller firms can get the deal done. So with us, the companies feel more secure to move forward with. Advantages of modular, this is people I think mostly are aware of, but in our case, we always finalize as much as possible in the factory, because the labor is cheaper, the work is faster, and also the quality is much better than on site. Regarding quality, we have also a FBH inspector who comes to inspect us when we're building the US modules. But in addition to that, we have our own quality system. That means that there's more than 800 checks that need to be made just to get the right quality, and nothing leaves the factory without being checked many times. We have also all the necessary quality standards that are required in Europe, but this is not in concern of the US. Sustainability is really important for us. We always try to be in the front of the market and try to adopt new possibilities with our products as well. And in addition, slide of sustainability here. Actually, we have grown out of side huts. These we mostly produce approximately 2,500 each year. So this is what has been helped us to grow big. Then Adapteo is one good rental concept. Nowadays, a lot of schools and kindergartens are built this way. These are transportable. This is like Lego, can be put together, put back to the warehouse at the their site, and then we remodel or new them. So additional slide. BookLook is also one of our biggest clients because this is Skanska's and IKEA's joint venture. We have built over 100 apartment houses for them for 6-7 years now. This is the BookLook UK project. Some additional apartment buildings in Norway. Mostly we do 2 to 4-story buildings in different locations. Then we have also standard modules. This is one project in the Netherlands, 22 summer houses. This is something similar that we are also doing the ADU units in the US. And now we are with the ADU MIA. This is situated now in Mountain View, California.
So can you explain the source of the wood? You use renewable forestry. Those are your source of the wood coming from?
Yes, the wood is coming from our neighbor countries. Previously, it was also Russia and Belarus, but now we don't import anything from there. We get our wood from Estonia, from Latvia, from Lithuania, also Finland, Sweden. So we are covered. It's really good. We have really strong supply chain and really long contacts. So that's covered.
What is the connection between Harmet and the C-Offsite Modular Solutions? Are you the main supplier for all their ADUs?
Yes, absolutely. Because as I explained also earlier, our advantage is the quality and the production capacity. Basically, they order 100 units at once. So this is what is suitable for us because we even don't take smaller orders than that. We're big, we're quality strong. So we're the main supplier for the C-Offsite.
So as the size I see right now, that ADU is 100% shipped from Estonia.
Yeah.
Is that including the decks and things outside the ADU? Would that also supply from you guys?
No, the decks are not included. It's just due to that the site conditions are different and clients have different wishes. But what is done is that the ADU itself is fully finished. Basically, there's only the extended roof, what you see with lights on. This is what will be added on site because it just goes beyond the transportation limits for us. But otherwise, we have all the windows, everything included already. Also inside, everything is finished. So our goal is always to add like most value to the unit in Estonia already. So this is how we approach this.
Wonderful.
So as I said earlier, the unit is state approved. That means that it's much more convenient for the C-Offsite to install these units, also to get approvals from the local municipalities regarding installment of the ADUs and so on. Then regarding the ADU, it's almost 500 square feet of footprint. It's a zero net energy unit. It has Energy Star appliances. It's solar panel ready. It has its sprinkler system. It's 9 feet 7 inches high ceilings. Fenestration area is quite big. It's still close to 60% of total floor area. Then it has triple-pane windows, which is quite uncommon in the States. It has modern design. I would say really Scandinavian. Also, quality is definitely beyond expectations because I've been to the States many times, and I would say our product is in a bit different quality level than what I've seen in California. Thanks to the triple-pane windows and really good insulation, if you live inside there, it's really quiet. You don't see any noise that's coming outside, and I think this is also really adds value to the unit. Here you can see the insulation comparison regarding California building code requirements and our ADU unit. Regarding dimensions, the roof thickness is 12 inches, the walls are 8 inches, and the flooring is 10 inches with everything with insulation. So, and also regarding the fenestration, you can see the value comparison regarding California building code, so everything exceeds the requirements. And this is also one of our main reasons that we don't want to be as the competition. We want to be better. This is just our approach. So want to build a really solid unit. So also if we talk about the walls, for example, it has plywood in both sides of the frames, so it's much more stiff than regular units, and it's really good. So I mean, also if we transport it from Estonia to the States, it has minor damages to the model after arriving. So maybe just small cracks in some window corners or something, but otherwise it's nothing. So we have to just do the painting work on site.
How long it takes the shipment from Estonia to US?
Yeah, the shipment is approximately 30 days because what we do is we produce 100 units, and those 100 units are shipped at once with the charter ships basically from Estonia directly to California. So therefore we have less liftings, which is also good for the modular life cycle. So this is our approach, how to make it really safe. Yeah, and regarding energy saving, we have a 40-gallon hybrid high efficiency smart electric tank water heater, heat recovery ventilation system, energy star appliances, and yeah, as I said earlier, insulation thickness is also exceeding building regulations. So this is a short presentation of Harmet and ADU.
The ADU made from Harmet 100% use electricity. There are no gas to the units. Am I correct?
Yeah. Our approach is because we really think green and we want to use as much electricity as possible. So basically, we this is one decision that we don't want to use gas with the unit. So, and this also gives the opportunity to place them anywhere. You don't have to like bring gas pipes in it. Just if you have solar panels or whatever, so you can manage with them.
Those ADU come with the warranties?
Yes, of course. We give 1 year warranty, and this is for that we take care of all the, because as with Europe, the clients are really picky. We always want to like the clients are the most important for us because our reputation is on the line here, and therefore we always if there's anything wrong with the units, we always come and fix it. The first option we get. So yeah, 1 year warranties for all the units.
How fast you guys normally can build those buildings that I show on the slides earlier? That seems like hundreds units, and you can build in 1 month.
Yes, yeah. As I said, it's like basically with this ADU, as you saw also, this one we built. This was prototype. That's currently in Mountain View. This was built in 12 days. But if we start our production, we will reduce it close to 7 to 8 days. And but this is only like one unit, but we produce many at the same time. So basically, we can produce, I would say, 300 to 350 ADUs in a month. This type of ADUs. So it's quite significant. Yeah.
It is significant.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, Risco, and I appreciate all the useful information to our audience. I will talk to the C-Offsite Modular Solutions on additional information and how to assemble ADU in US for the homeowner who needs to add additional units in the backyard. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All the best to you.
Welcome, everyone. I have a few special guests here today. I would like to introduce them to you. The first one is Matt, who is a co-founder and co-owner of the C-Offsite. Jana, he's also co-founder and co-owner of the C-Offsite. Tom, who is the digital marketing advisor, and Yak is the sales partner of the C-Offsite. Welcome your guests to the show. Can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I can start. My name is Matt McCormick, and I reside in 2 locations. I reside in Aptos, California, which is just outside the Silicon Valley, near the Santa Cruz, Monterey Bay area. And our other home is in Agoura Hills, California. And I've got 2 gorgeous, beautiful young women, daughters, and my wife and I have been married 33 years. And went to school at Santa Clara University and grad school at CU Boulder. and have really enjoyed the 8 years that I've been in the real estate industry after being an executive at Warner Brothers Time Warner. I was there, well, let's just say this, I was in the corporate world for 27 years before I entered the real estate industry.
Hi, yeah, my name is Jana, and my background is more than 20 years in sales, mainly before food and beverage. 6 years ago, I changed a little bit my business views, and I started in prefab houses. And 2019, I saw the opportunity in here in California, where was basically not any outside of Argentine prefabricated companies. So I came here, I met my future partner here, and now almost 3.5 years later, we have our first prototype here in California, Mountain View.
And hey, I'm Tom DeLuca. Matt and I worked together at Warner Brothers. I was the head of digital marketing for them. I've been in the real estate business since 1992. So yes, I'm old. That's how I put myself through college. And it is just a wonderful experience working with these guys on this ADU project at MIA, which I had the fortunate experience to stay in for the last 3 nights. And I am just happy to be on this call with you guys. And Daphne, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jaak Pello. Before this opportunity, I worked as a sales manager in our producer, Harmet. And since 2020, I have been helping Janar mostly and Matt also with all possible problems we had here, our challenges. So now I'm more focusing on sales. Thank you.
Can you tell us what does the C-Offsite stand for?
Sure. The C is something that when I wrote a business plan years ago about where it was started with a network, and the C stands for, it's the letter C as in car, but it basically stands for any word that the agents and the people that we work with that really resonates and describes their personalities. It could be cerebral, it could be caring, comforting, whatever those words are. For me, I'm a man of faith, so C stands for Christ. So that's what the C is in terms of when you ask me directly what it means to me. The offsite is the fact that we, in best describing how we're going and where we're going with the ADUs and other areas, the offsite is kind of, it went with it. It was catchy. We talked about it as a group when we thought that people could better understand that when we do these modular ADUs, we're building these offsite. But they're beautiful luxury ADUs that are not built on the property. They're actually 90% assembled offsite, and that's why it's called the C-Offsite.
Great. Where do you service and install ADUs in California currently?
Yeah, currently right now our focus area is at the beginning is to be in the Bay Area. So we're looking at Northern California, Bay Area specifically, to launch and get this off the ground. Once we do that, our plan is to go south. And then once we go south, we can stay West Coast as we go up and down the coast there. And then we would want to go east. So it'd be a west to east launch over time.
And how many different models you have for the ADU?
Yeah, right now we've introduced one model. We're actually, Tom and I, Janar and Jaak, were talking about, the potential to look at other options. But right now we focused all our energy into a one model ADU, but one that's designed for what buyers are preferring today. So it all has the amenities of the open floor plan, the higher ceilings, triple pane windows, insulation that is, much greater, not double, but pretty close to that with what you see in the United States. So we've got luxury items, but what buyers are looking for, and it's one model right now.
And I understand your ADU is 100% using electricity. So is it possible to add the solar panels?
Yes, it's actually plumbed and ready for solar panels on the roof line. So they basically built these to be able to be set up for solar. And we're recommending to all our clients that they go that route, is to gain solar, to take advantage of that.
If a homeowner want to add on the solars, are they part of the pricing, or those are additional to it?
No, the pricing that we have on these does not include solar. They're solar ready, but we give the client an option to work with the different companies as it relates to the solar benefits that they'll get. Yeah.
Other features you can add it to standard ADU?
Yeah, the other features really that are not included, because you can count them on your hand because it comes included with just about everything, is if you wanted to put any type of landscaping or decking around the units themselves, that does not come included, but we do have the teams available to be able to do that work. So the price point that a client would pay or a buyer would pay on these would include basically everything that you see physically except for solar on the roof. That's a separate cost. The decking, if you wanted to have decking or landscaping around the property. But what we do include in that, in that we talk to the clients with, is that we have the base pricing of the ADU. And then we have what we call, it's kind of a grading, whether there's grading needed, perimeter foundation, and then the utilities brought to the property. So for an ADU to be put in someone's backyard, for example, you're going to need to tap into the utilities that are, say, on average, maybe 30 feet away, tap into that and bring that to the unit. And that is all done in advance of the day that we have scheduled in for each property to come bring in the ADU.
Is there any setback requirements for the ADU to install in the backyard or
Yes.
side yard?
The most difficult thing about this process is dealing with the city and all the details regarding setbacks, and it's almost like art. You have to be very creative because every property is different. Because every property is different, we take that on with the city. So we are the ones that are getting the permitting. We're the ones dealing with the city planning as it relates to site plans, since every city is different as it relates to setbacks.
Why if on the existing property there is a non-conforming structure, is ADU still allowed?
On a non-conforming, here's the situation. We have certain cities that we know are going to be very, very difficult to work with, and possibly we'll tell the client right up front that it's kind of like an A, B, and C. And A would equal that it's going to be very simple. Here's what we have. This is experience. This is all the paperwork. We work with the city. And then you'll have a C where we warn them up front. If you live in this town, you need to be better prepared for what could happen. And if it's non-conforming or whatnot, we are not promising anyone that this is 100% assured everywhere. That's why we have to do site plans. That's why we need to visit the property to see if it's capable. The other small things is, let's say, for example, you have 3 or 4 very large 100-year-old oak trees around the property, and it's going to be very difficult for us to get this to your backyard. That might be literally something physical that we can't. That's why we have the site plans. That's why we want to take a private visit to take a look and see what we're dealing with there. And then the cost of basically, let's say, for example, Tom is buying one for his property and I'm buying one for my property. At the end of the day, the net cost will be a little different because, one, Tom could be further away from a transportation standpoint, and mine might be much, much easier to actually place into the backyard than his. So it's going to range. The range won't be too dramatic, but there will be a difference so that the net price at the end of it will be different by customer.
Is there like a minimum lot size?
Oh, minimum lot size. Yeah, every city right now is dealing with a different percentage as it relates to what you're allowed to do and so forth. So it would be nice if the entire state of California was the same, but that's where we have to work with the cities. That's the difficult part, is how we work with the cities, understanding what their parameters are, and then seeing how easy or difficult it will be based upon the current situation with the property itself.
Like you mentioned earlier, you try to focus in Northern California currently. If someone wants to have an ADU somewhere further away from Northern California, will you be able to help them?
Yes, we will be able to help them. They just have to understand that the transportation costs to that location is going to be more, but we're an open book on all this. So they'll be able to see all the numbers and they can make a decision for themselves if it's worth it for them to do that. And our crew is willing to go into those areas. If not, we'll have partner teams that will have to work with this. Say, for example, they might want to move 150 to 200 miles away from the docks in Oakland or Stockton, which is where the first location will be for the units.
And I've been to one of your ADU and feel very spacious because you have such a high ceiling compared to standard 8 feet high ceiling. Do you have any information why you make such a design, get such a small space, feels twice bigger?
Yeah, well, that was the idea, because we felt like if you were to mention ADU to most people, they think of something that's very simple, low ceiling, just, something that you're not really proud of. It's more of just an extra bed and an extra space. And whether they want to, obviously generate revenue off of it or use it themselves, it's just that it's like some people will jokingly say, all I need is a roof and a bed and some running water. Right. So for those that come through there, they're like, this isn't something to be embarrassed about. This is something you can entertain in. This is something that you can actually have a sense of pride in. In some instances, in a lot of instances, these are so nice that the quality of these are just a smaller version of and nicer than their existing home. So it helps them step up, raising the level of the primary home they're living in because they've got an ADU that everybody wants to move to.
Definitely feel much better than outdated homes.
Yes.
I feel very refreshing and very modern.
Yes.
At the same time.
Yes, very, very, very nice. And that was the objective, was to make sure that that was something that you don't see in the United States. And you really don't see that for ADUs. The mentality of most builders on the ADU is, how do we do this for the cheapest cost possible for our clients and try and make it as nice as we can? We follow the same philosophy, but the difference is that where we have these built in Estonia, they've been doing this for 30 or 35 years, whereas in the United States, you don't have a lot of history like that. So we feel like they're 2 or 3 decades ahead of where the United States is. And so the quality standards that they've worked off of have come from years and years of adjustments and upgrades and experience.
And could you tell us about pricing?
Sure. Yeah. The pricing, as you can imagine, changes a little bit recently because of the volatility that we have globally and the cost of transportation. So right now, and I always have to say right now, because it was different a month ago, it was different 6 months ago, right? So right now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to look at an all-in package for our clients. And I kind of have to rely on Jana for a lot of this, but an all-in package for our clients. So right now, well, let's just say this, somewhere around 260,000 all in for everything, on up to 300,000, depending on location. There's a lot to that right now. But with that's counting if there's grading needing, the utilities to the property, perimeter foundation, permits, obviously the transportation to the property itself. Once it gets to the property, you've got to have a crane. We have a crane set up to be able to lift it over the home and put it in the back, depending on which way and how we get into the property. All that will be laid out. So all in all, at the end of the day, you're looking at somewhere between, our goal is to have it somewhere between 260 and 300.
Okay, so that's pretty comparable to other competitors on the market.
We feel like right now that our cost structure is set up to be where we're going to be very close. We didn't mean to be the least expensive, but we're find out that we're on the lower end of total costs all in. But the big difference is the fact that the quality of these far exceeds anything that we've seen anywhere in the market.
Daphne, as you saw, the quality of these structures is just outstanding. And it definitely goes to the Estonian design, and a lot of their businesses in Scandinavia. So there's a lot of efficiencies from the triple pane windows to the Lazy Susan cabinets. There's a lot of efficiencies that, like Matt said, are years ahead of the domestic market. And that's why we feel that these units, the Mia especially, that was designed by Janar and his team, is just far exceeds the quality. And if you're getting that quality at that price, we feel will be a market leader in no time.
I agree with you. Sometimes I feel European or Scandinavian has a higher standards compared to rest of the world.
Yeah, and not only do they have higher standards, they've built that into the production process. There's a ton of learnings that they've had. This company that is building them has been in business, I believe it's since 92 or 97.
92, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just the factories, the efficiency, the fabrication, it just far exceeds what I have seen. I'm not saying that the competitors aren't doing it right. They're doing it their way. We're just doing it the best way.
Yeah, I would mention also that currently the price level in the port is a little bit less than 200,000. The price starts there. As Matt mentioned, the end price, but this when somebody wants to buy it from the stock or from the port, then its price level is a little bit less even than 200,000, and to all the rest themselves.
Can you tell us about the timing when the ADU delivered and how long it would take to complete setup?
I would say that the first 100 units will be in Stockton or Oakland Port in the beginning of next year, hopefully in January. If we start with the groundworks, permits, it will take us approximately 2 months. When the module is lifted on the foundation, it will take us 1 week or 1.5 weeks to the rest. Let's say not more than 2 weeks to finish all, to the decking, to the extended roof, to the connections, piping works, electricity connections, so we don't disturb the neighbors. It will is with good quality and very quick work. So if we add everything together, all the process, if it goes fluently from the permits part, then it will be 2.5 months.
So when do you looking into install the first ADU in California?
Well, we'd like to have the first ones installed right at the beginning of the new year. So right now, in fact, today at 3 o'clock, we've got 91 to 100 people that were interested from some of the showings that we had recently in events. And so now we're following up with them. We've got all the legal part of it done on the contracts. And so now is where rubber hits the road. Now we get to see, of these 100 people that first came through, how many are actually interested to start putting down payments. And then we start to the site plan process. And then we would be shipping these from Estonia, or not preparing to ship, manufacturing first, and then scheduling that out so that they have them here at the end of the year and in for the new year next year. So we feel like 2023 is going to be a great year as it relates to seeing these in different locations. Once you have that experience for people to see what we've done and how beautiful these are, it's like any business, we're expecting it then to pick up and start to grow from there.
And your showroom currently located in Mountain View, am I correct?
Yes, we have one in Mountain View. I grew up in Mountain View. It is at 301 Moore Park Avenue for anyone that wants to come by and take a look and get a private tour. We'd be excited to show you. And at that point, we'll have an idea of where they're at in line, let's call it. So if they can be a part of the first order, that would be wonderful. They could be celebrating 2023 with a beautiful ADU in their property.
And do you have any future expansion for the showroom locations?
Yes, we do actually. We have this one here in Mountain View for the Bay Area. The next one actually would end up being in Southern California, led by Tom DeLuca. Where that location is, most likely going to be as close to Redondo Beach as possible.
Great, wonderful.
I would just say right now, we think we're ahead of the curve. We know that this industry is growing dramatically. I think it's one of those where it's a very customized approach. And what we're trying to do is to take a complicated, customized system and simplify it for the consumer. All they have to focus on is, will this work in my home? And do I want to basically start the payment process to get this started? And then let us take on all the heavy weight and the work, and then we'll take it on, because we know if we put too much of that back into the clients and the buyer's hands, there's too many touch points behind the scenes that it would just not go well. And we just feel like our company is able to offer all of those services to make it much easier for the client. And then in turn, they'll have a beautiful ADU that they can have for years to come. And let's not forget one thing. When you put an ADU on a property today, the value of that property ranges anywhere from a growth rate of about 17 to 25%. So think about that with California numbers in terms of what that does for people when they can do one of three things. They can use that for a second property for their family. If they have college age students, their parents, whoever, you have that option. You can also use that as a Airbnb type rental or a long-term type rental. So it can generate income for properties. And right now, this is what is our biggest need in this state is housing. We need more doors. And this is basically a wonderful solution where we can come in and deal with these in 100 unit increments and work with everyone to really fix some of these housing issues in the state of California.
Yeah, and Daphne, this is one of the only projects that the state of California will pay you $20,000 to $25,000 to install on your property. There are grants available from the state of California. Jacques, is it 20 or 25,000?
Yeah, around 20 or 25 even thousand. And then local counties are also supporting the buyers.
So there's a lot of opportunity for the consumer to actually have the government help pay for a beautiful renovation that will increase the value of the property. So we are definitely in a very unique experience here.
That work like a rebate?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct. That is correct.
I would also mention that our future plans are to have ADU with 2 modules with 3 bedrooms. So to have the second module, which gives more space when the people have more room at their plot. And we have also apartment building plans and homeless shelter plans, but this is another subject, of course.
So I understand your 1 bedroom is slightly less than 500 square feet. So how big is a 3-bedroom unit would be?
Double the size. It's a little bit less than 1,000 square feet. 2 times 495 square feet.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. So
Great. This is
Correct.
wonderful. Daphne, thank you for the time, everybody, and enjoy your day.
thank you very
Thank you
much,
very much,
everyone.
Daphne.
Thank you, guys.